What is going on, y'all? I'm KM Best. Ghost Spider just came out. I found a deck that I really like her in, and so far the preliminary data on Untapped is pretty damn good for the list. It'll be on screen right here. Let's get into it. So this is the list. It is a pretty straightforward move deck early game with a wave late game, and wave plus cloak is sort of the raison d'etre, I did not pronounce that right, of the list itself. The idea is basically wave and cloak is the scariest possible thing that you can pair with your wave. So wave plus cloak, scariest wave turn in the entire game when you have these things that scale with moving. And of course you have the threat of Heimdall or the ability to just play an America Chavez afterwards, which is just an impossible situation for your opponents to parse. One of the things that came up while I was testing this deck is I didn't have a super high win rate, but my cube rate was significantly higher than my win rate. And I think a lot of that is just because this deck is very, very hard to understand when you're ahead against it and when you're behind. And that is a real advantage. Move decks, I think, are very difficult to play as well. So there's a lot of potential here, in my opinion. Let's check out a card-by-card breakdown, and then at the end, we will have some gameplay for you. So Ghost Spider is the newest addition to the deck, and what she really provides is flexibility. The move deck, I think, was already pretty close to being good. It just missed a little bit of ability to adapt to situations, and Ghost Spider provides that while also being a bit of a ramp-up card for cards like Vulture and Dagger, who once they get a couple moves in them are much, much stronger than before they do that. So Ghost Spider's addition to this deck is a little bit, I would say, supplemental, but it's a critical role for a card to play. She gets you rolling downhill with your move cards, and she enables you to move cards around to react to situations. She is usually the second best 2-cost card you can pair with a wave, and that's genuinely a pretty high honor. There are a couple of threats worth talking about. Dagger is a phenomenal threat, especially against decks that clog the board. And of course, she is a threat that scales with mostly the amount of times you move her. She's a very dangerous card to see on the opposing side of a board, especially if they have a cloak. Just a horrifying proposition, especially if they waved and cloaked. You see where this deck is going, right? It's a very straightforward, like, we have a lot of threatening abilities in this list, and they don't know where we're going with them. And that is what this deck weaponizes. Vulture is probably the best of our move payoffs, just usually a 3-8 or 3-13. But one thing I would encourage you to keep in mind is that the bigger he gets, the more he can be Shang-Chi'd. So sometimes you're going to want to keep him at 3-8 until you Heimdall. Sometimes you're not going to want to Heimdall at all, and you're going to use the threat of the Heimdall to open up a different play. And sometimes you're going to want to, like, use the threat of the Heimdall to actually make them play Shang-Chi in an off lane where the Vulture actually isn't. You have to think about all of this. This deck is genuinely hard to play and does require a lot of thinking about what your opponent might be doing. The worst of our move payoffs by a significant margin is Human Torch, and he is very close to a replacement level card in the deck. Now, I do have him in here because you do need some sort of critical mass of move payoffs, and he's the one that if you ramp him up the most, he tends to be like a lot better in mirrors than the other ones are because he scales exponentially. If you can get him started early, you have a pretty significant advantage, and of course, there's a lot of people playing similar decks to this thanks to Ghost Spider. Kraven, I guess, is in like the sort of, he is a scaling threat, but he's not a heavy scaling threat unless things go completely haywire. I have had games where Kraven is the biggest card on the field. They are not incredibly common outside of the mirror. So Kraven is our sort of alt scaling threat. He is pretty damn good. He's usually not going to get enormous, but he's going to be above rate. And sometimes when he can get enormous, that's very good. Cloak especially is Kraven's best friend. I know I come back to wave plus cloak, but being able to threaten multiple lanes at the same time with Kraven or Dagger or Vulture is a very powerful thing to do. If you've already made a Vulture pretty big, I've won games by just moving the Kraven and the Dagger and one other card to where the cloak is, and that's just a really hard thing to see coming, a really hard play to play around, and definitely something to keep in mind. So in terms of cards that actually move things, Iron Fist is one of the best ones, if only because of his cost. One of the things that really struck me when playing this deck is the cheaper things were, the more I liked playing them. I even flirted with cutting Doctor Strange for a while. Iron Fist is just good. Gets you started rolling. Now, you are going to run into some games where you do have an Iron Fist, you do have a Ghost Spider, but you don't have the payoff. And you do have to be aware of those situations because the payoffs are what really make the deck tick. The enablers are, I think, mostly secondary, but you do, of course, need to have them in there in order to make the deck work. Now, we finally get to Cloak here. Cloak is, like, the whole pitch, the elevator pitch for this deck is Cloak and Wave is a better X plus Wave than anything else. When you play Cloak and Wave in this deck on turn 5, it is the best Wave turn in the entire game. It is the scariest thing to play against in the entire game. It is unbelievably powerful and unbelievably scary to see Cloak and Wave. If you have done anything in the early game, even just like played a Vulture and Ghost Spider, even if you just did like Craven, Vulture, Ghost Spider, that's it. It's horrifying. It is horrifying to deal with that because suddenly your opponent's options are restricted and your options, thanks to Cloak, are nearly unlimited. Now, Cloak does, on occasion, mean they can move stuff too, so you do have to think about that, but you get the payoff for moving, not them. So you make it very, very asymmetrical and very, very hard to react to. Now, we've talked a lot about Wave, and I think she is a foundational card for this archetype. I'm not sure this archetype can exist without her, because without Wave, the move deck is putting less points on the board than the Kitty Pryde lists. And if you're a point slam deck, if all you're doing is putting points on the board, you need to be the best version of putting points on the board. And I don't think move is the best points on the board deck. But it is a great points on the board deck that can play Wave, which gives you an advantage over the Kitty Pryde decks as long as you draw her, which we're running Chavez, so you are a little bit more likely to do. This is sort of the key to understanding why I think this archetype is so good, because you get to be a sort of point slam, put points on the board deck, but against any of the decks that actually put more points on the board than you, you have access to Wave. But decks like Sarah, decks like Kitty Pryde, they don't have access to Wave, and that is critical for winning those sort of heads-up pseudo mirrors when they're trying to play a lot of cards on turn 6. You're just like, no, you don't get to do that. So Doctor Strange is a very unique card in this list, and I would say he is the card that I have replaced more than anything else. I've tried Miles Morales, I have tried Polaris, I have tried Multiple Man, which, by the way, was actually the thing that I think was closest to Doctor Strange. Now, the thing that I don't like about Doctor Strange is that his 3 cost makes him a very awkward inclusion in the context of we are really trying to wave on 5, so obviously we want to wave with a 2 cost card a lot more. Now, the reason I do have Doctor Strange in here is because you run into these sort of location issues where Doctor Strange is kind of the only thing that can move things the other direction, and sometimes you just actually need that. If a nowhere shuts down your Ghost Spider or whatever, sometimes you just need the ability to move more things around. He's not getting played all the time. I would encourage you to experiment with this slot. I even tried Iron Lad. It did not pan out very well, but I did try it. So I do want you to try, different stuff here. And let me know what you see, honestly, because I think he is probably the worst card in this list. It could just be a skill issue. I'm not particularly adept with move decks yet, but he has felt a little bit clunky, and I tend to want these lists to be very straightforward. Play a lot of small guys, play a wave, play the big game ender. That's how I want to play the deck. Arrow is here as a combination Galactus hedge and way for you to sort of slam the door shut after a wave. I think she's probably the best version of this. You could talk me into leader, I think, but Arrow just being a 5/8 has helped me a lot. And I think that Arrow, I'm glad that I finally have a chance to play her again. I've had this inkified Artgerm Arrow for forever. But basically, the top end of the list, I think you can really work with. I ended up on this configuration of Arrow and Heimdall and America Chavez, but I know other people ended up on like Leader and Doctor Doom and America Chavez, and like you can really play around with what your top end looks like. I prefer this top end. Arrow gives me a real out to Galactus unless you get very unlucky or they are somehow able to fill up their lane that has their units in it. Arrow is a real out to Galactus, not the way that like other cards are like outs to Galactus, the way like Polaris is like a 50-50. Arrow is a true out, and she's great after a wave. That's why she's here. Heimdall is, God, I don't even know. He's really good, but a lot of times you're leveraging the threat of playing him rather than actually playing him. Now, to be clear, that's usually like a pretty good thing to do. Playing him usually results in a lot of points. But a lot of times people are going to be like, okay, they're going to play Heimdall, so I'm going to put the Shang-Chi where the Vulture is going to go. And you have to be aware of like those kind of possibilities when you play this card. It is a really, really, really powerful card, but it is one that is very telegraphed. And that can be a blessing and a curse if you understand that your opponent knows that you are playing Heimdall or thinks that you are playing Heimdall. You can sort of play them. And that is something that comes up a lot in the game. Finally, America Chavez. I want this deck doing what it does as much as possible, right? I want to be playing the good cards in the deck. I want to have a good mixture of payoffs and the cards that make the payoffs work. And for that reason, I run America Chavez so I can get those cards more of the time. Now, the other upside to America Chavez, though, is that because people always expect the Heimdall, there are a lot of situations where they're actually just dead to an America Chavez if they play around the Heimdall. It's not a perfect juke. You have to actually think about like, okay, if I played Heimdall here, what would they do? And does America Chavez beat the thing that they do? But if you watch the rest of the video, you will see games where that absolutely does happen. So please understand that it's not just the way it is in Bounce. You are actually going to play America Chavez a non-zero amount of the time. This is not just a deck thinning tool, it's actually the other half of your Heimdall juke. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed that breakdown of my favorite Ghost Spider deck on day one. What is the Ghost Spider deck that you have had the most success with? Let me know. What is your overall opinion of Ghost Spider herself? Because I think if she's not going to succeed in a list like this, I don't know if she succeeds anywhere. I've seen her in a lot of currently existing shells. Like I've seen Ghost Spider Sarah, I've seen Ghost Spider Kitty Pryde, but I sort of feel like those decks are just worse versions of the normal versions of that deck. And I'm interested to find out how true that is, but this, I think, is a genuine upgrade to the move deck, not just Ghost Spider, but Wave. And I did want to give a shout out here. I actually got the idea of Ghost Spider plus Wave from a ladder player named Darwizzy, who just absolutely farmed me before Ghost Spider was even out with Wave and Cloak, and that is the principle that this deck is built around, basically. We are building around that idea, and it is not an original idea, but I do think it's a very underexplored one because Wave and Cloak in the move shell is absurdly powerful, as I've said many times throughout this video. So let me know what you think about Ghost Spider. Let me know how this list works for you, and I will see you in the next one. Stick around for some gameplay. Be able to find the drop there. If you don't have the mobile client, you're fucked. I'm sorry. You have to just like get like second and third hand mobile client shit. Fastest leave in the West, you gotta respect it. That's high APM gaming. Oh, they posted it in Discord? Good. It's a pretty mediocre drop. I'm gonna be 100% honest. It is a very mid drop, but that's okay. I always open some Series 4 cards close to end of season, and it seems Series drop them right after next patch. Coincidence or not? Yes, it's a coincidence. It's very obviously a coincidence. It's one of the most coincidences, like, one of the most coincidental things I've ever seen. Extremely a coincidence. Yeah, man, I'm playing Cloak on your Storm lane. I think I'm actually snapping that back. Like, I'm playing Cloak on your Storm lane here, dude. Seems bad for you. Cool Jeff, though. Just played someone with Shadow King and Luke Cage. Woo! Arrow him to left if he's gonna Spidey. If he's gonna Spidey, I don't really care where he does it. I'm gonna be up on every lane. So I feel like I'm good here. Hit me with the GG. What am I missing here that's gonna beat my ass? Nothing. I'm missing nothing, chat. This is what I expected from this matchup, is just you cloak their Storm lanes after doing some stuff, and they are so dead. List is feeling like the best of any of my lists so far, but the Iceman slot is such a fucking question mark, and I have no idea what to do with it. I can't tell what that card should be. The Wave is phenomenal. The Arrow is phenomenal. I've even enjoyed the Chavez. I've just been playing a Stature Darkhawk deck and winning 80% of my games. I mean, that tracks, right? That deck is super fucking awesome when nobody is playing Kitty Pryde, and probably nobody's playing Kitty Pryde, right? Oh my god. See, this is where I would want Doctor Strange, right? I'm gonna try Vulture Cloak next turn. See what happens. Kitty Pryde, sure, he's not real. I mean actual Kitty Pryde. Like the good one. The one that is good, not the one that is bad. Intriguing snap. I'm assuming it means a Spider-Man? Maybe it has to be Doctor Strange. Cool Spider-Man. I'm with you. Right, so here's the thing. I don't know. So do you think Kitty needs a nerf? Jeez. No, maybe. I think she's a much more fun deck to have as the #1 deck than Shuri. Oh, baby. Ye old juke. They expected it here, and we got it here. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I don't even know if I want 2099 in here, honestly. Like, I think he seems good, but costing 4 really sucks. One of the things I don't know is, like, where my shit goes. Like, I think we just default... I think what we do is we play Torch here, and then go Craven right with a cloak, or Craven mid and a cloak right. Like, one of the things that I'm having trouble with this deck, I don't think I'm playing it very well. That's really interesting. That certainly does change some things for your boy. But yeah, setting up for a wave cloak is kind of the whole thing, right? Okay, now we can't wave cloak. Awkward spot, but not unwinnable. We're gonna do the cloak the turn before the wave. Storm mid. I mean, I'm looking out for it, don't get me wrong. Let's go cloak over here now. I'm aware of the potential for things to go poorly here. Wave now for arrow on 5. I don't think so. So we get the cloak in the middle, which is super dope. All right, they're wasping. Very cool. All right, so Craven goes over. Iron Fist goes over. Human Torch goes over. Wave goes here. They Spider-Man over there. Right? But if they do, we just play like a Chavez on the left, right? Yeah, see, there's the Spider-Man, which is super baller. We don't even have to do the Chavez. No, we do the Chavez, actually. It would be the arrow. We get enough ahead. Actually, the arrow's fine. Arrow's fine here. Wait, is Heimdall ever better? Why are they snapping this? Because if they have a Doctor Doom, they'll win the middle, but they won't win it against a Heimdall. Am I fucking missing something? I don't know, let's find out. No, we beat Doom on the left with the arrow. Because Nebula doesn't get any extra power, and Arrow is 3 more power than Doom. So, like, that's a Doctor Doom, right? Yeah, dude. One of the things about this play is you fucking lose. But one of the weirder things about that play is they also lost to a Heimdall. That's why I thought it couldn't possibly be a Doctor Doom, right? This play just loses to me playing Heimdall over here. We go to like fucking 20 in the middle and like way more than we had here. I don't know what this was. Things like that tend to be the appropriate methods of doing something in this chart. It was not Series 5, would have been good in Iron Lad Jubilee decks. Yes, literally only there, but yes. My network crashed the final turn. Were you the person who disconnected? That sucks. HE Thorjaw or HE Control? It would probably be one of those two, yes. We Ghost Spider stands, baby? We sure fucking are. Alright, so we go Ghost Spider, and we're gonna dagger here. Do we have to dagger the middle? Are they gonna Doctor Strange, or are they gonna Ghost Spider plus something? Is 6 plus 8 enough? I hope we win this middle. I think we will. Doctor Strange. Okay, so we are going to beat that. Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, he's such a baller. That's insane. Elite. The -1 on the sewer system. He's so good. He's so good, chat. Holy shit. Actually, how good is he? Like, that's awesome, but like your extra cards, you're probably not playing them. One extra card and a wave. Okay, we're both waving here. If we both... fuck it. Let's find out. Ah! I'm not doing any math, motherfucker. I don't do that. I don't do math. Are you shitting me? No math. Let's go. I'm doing zero math. I'm never... You can't make me do math, motherfucker. Oh. Do we have to go back to Doctor Strange? What are your thoughts, chat? Are we back on Strange? I really want it to be a 1-cost card or like a 2-cost card or something. Bounce it's pretty hard for Bounce to win through Wave, and it's extremely hard for Bounce to win through Spider-Man and Storm. Yeah, the whole pitch for this is we get like dope ass. Oh my god. I mean, I actually think this is awesome. Maybe I'm like an idiot for this, but we have like Heimdall and shit. We can even draw Ghost Spider. Also, she's enormous. Does KM Best have an IG? No. Is it really just Jeff for Iceman? I don't know. I want that third one. I like the low curve into wave thing that we do. Kinda sucks, not gonna lie. Armor for the Killmongers. I don't think that's good enough. I want some move shit. Like, I want 2-mana Doctor Strange, and that's basically what Ghost Spider is, right? Alright, you know what? This plays. This plays. Dude, I have missed arrows. Yeah. This is the second time this stream we've pulled that off. We've arrowed someone's Professor X. I have a lot of good gameplay. I know that's true, because I've been playing just a shitload. Alright, we're gonna hold the Iron Fist so we can get the Kraven down. Oh, hello. What's our thought process with this? Here? No, I think we go there, and then we look to Iron Fist like a dagger, or a Human Torch, or a... What are you Polarising? You're Mr. Negative, right? Okay, we can beat Mr. Negative. Oh, especially on New York. Especially on New York. If we draw a card we can play next turn, I am into it. pretty much any card. I'm into it here. Not my favorite, but I'll live. Kamikaze, tier 1. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the besties. Or welcome, yeah, 2 months. Wave Heimdall, New York. That's pretty much the idea here, yeah. I'm thinking they're gonna try to explode on the final turn of the game with their Mr. Negative crap. And I'm thinking they won't be able to do that because I have the card Wave. Yeah? That's pretty much what my plan here is. Here comes Magic. Got him. We fucking got him. We fucking got him. Imagine thinking you're gonna play 12 cards here, dude. You're not playing fucking 12 cards. You're not playing fucking 1 card. Well, you are playing 1 card. I get, okay. Yep. You are playing 1 card. Oh yeah. You ever just have it? You have Psylocke into Mr. Negative and your Sarah, and you just get Wave. Wave is better than it was before. I think so, but that's fine, right? Wave is also fairer than it was before. Awkward. Bar Sinister here really sucks because it's not like we can move much out of it. Ghost Spider can get stuff out of it. Cloak can get stuff out of it. So, like, those are the kind of cards we need for a Bar Sinister on the left. I don't mind that. Now, if we do get those cards, this Vulture is a hell of a card to put in. Like, Cloak here is super big baller mode if we can pull it off. Lockjaw deck, huh? If we get Cloak, none of this matters. If we don't, we're in a lot of trouble, but it's okay. So if they... I mean, they don't have a Lockjaw. That's not... Okay, Ghost Spider. Ghost Spider. Gonna Mjolnir Bar Sinister? Not if he can't fucking draw it first, right? He's gonna play the Jane, but we're gonna Wave, right? And when he if he has to draw Mjolnir now, right? In order to pull off the Mjolnir Bar Sinister thing, he's got to draw Mjolnir and play it before turn 6, and he's never going to Mjolnir Bar Sinister before turn 6. Now, if he wants to spend his entire turn doing that, he can. But if he does it before turn 6, okay, he's snapping. Big baller. I'll play it. This play is... Is that a Mjolnir? What the fuck is happening right now? Dracula. Oh, hell yes, dude. I love what you're cooking. I'm into it. There is, like, one issue here, right? Had to get through pre-rolls. Ghost Spider mid? I don't think so. All right, dog, what's in your hand? So, do they Dracula up to 40? Especially considering they just put 2 zeros in there. Here's a question for you, chat. Does Heimdall on reveal happen before or after the Bar Sinister happens? If I play Heimdall, is it gonna move Dagger over? Or is it gonna move Craven and Wave into the left? Does anybody know the order here? The reveal happens first. Okay. So in that case, I'm just gonna say let's roll the dice, bro. Let's roll the fucking dice. Let's roll them, dude. We're rolling dice. I would like to find out. What do you got, buddy? Let's see what that Dracula pops up with, knowing one is a Mjolnir and one is a Wasp. Wave. High Evolutionary. Doctor Doom. Iron, let's go! I will investigate it a little bit, but I find it hard to believe it's the optimal way to play Sarah. But we can try it. I mean, I love Sarah. I love Sarah. Like, so much, dude. I seriously, like, I will do anything to play Sarah. So, like, I love Sarah. I love Kitty. It's not hard to convince me to do this. But I don't have a build that I really want to test right now, I think. And if it is, it's a build without the tech cards, and that makes me feel weird. We have 7 turns. Maybe over the course. Whoa. Holy ballin'. What are they doing? Okay, so we do not have 7 turns if they're a Thanos. We can go Doctor Strange, or we can go... if they're a Thanos deck, actually, that's interesting. Lambie with the raid. Oh my god, I outlasted Lambie too? How are you still streaming? I'm on a ton of stimulants. That is the answer. Oh! Well, that means we will get a turn 7. That's cool. I like having a turn 7. Alright, so we're gonna do Doctor Strange. Actually, we could do Ghost Spider. No, we'll save Ghost Spider for later. Doctor Strange Dagger. Yeah, and then next turn is like Cloak. Some bullshit. All right, what is that? Thanos. Okay, cool. Thank you for not being a toxic scumbag. Advertising Twitch in his handle. Yeah, everyone who does that is a scumbag. That's the rules. All right, so we go Wave. Actually, no, we go Wave, Cloak, and then they have to fucking figure it out. You have to figure this out from here. I don't know what I'm doing. First Thanos, second for everyone, Lambie raids. That's actually true. Yeah, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. What are we doing here? I have no idea. Okay. Shit. That double blue marble is the scariest shit on Earth. Okay, remember when you tried to defend second dinner back in Zappa? You know, the pay-to-win decks from the meta? Imagine that narrative has gone out the window with most recent series shop. I think that is kind of a dumbass thing to say. Because what you're accusing me of effectively is a narrative, as opposed to me actually believing something. I guess I don't really get the idea where, like, I'm supposed to be someone pushing an agenda as opposed to just like a human fucking being who has opinions. I don't. Okay. I don't really get that one. I'm sorry. I don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. The reeds! The reeds! Dude, I'm so fucking good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, the read I had was they're gonna go middle, right? It's like they're gonna go middle because they're too afraid to actually put power here because of all this shit. And they're too afraid to go here in case I don't fucking move. But I got like the split here, yeah? Oh, I thought I was afraid that was a dino. That's what I was scared of.